Hello and welcome to my channel, I Win to Lose Gaming. Oh boy, I spent way more time on this video than I'd like to admit. Maybe it's because Zhongli is such a magnificent husbando. Just look at him, so majestic, so handsome, and so strong now. In this video, I'm going to go over why I think he is a must-pull. Before moving on, I want to attempt to define what I think a must-pull character is. In actuality, not a single character in this game is a must-pull. You can handily complete all the content in this game with just the starting roster. But when I say must-pull in this context, I mean it in the sense that this character will have such a resounding impact on your gameplay experience that they are essentially irreplaceable for their role. A must-pull character is someone who is likely to provide so much utility that they are almost always worth the resources you invest into them. And finally, a must-pull character can generally be considered as game-changing. So is that the case with Zhongli? Yes, at least in my opinion, and in the opinion of many others. Zhongli is first and foremost a support character. He provides the best shield in the game, some very good crowd control, as well as excellent passive damage. Zhongli is also one of the best sub-DPSs in the game, and if desired, Zhongli can be a very formidable main carry as well. So let's start with a progression guide for Zhongli, and you'll see why I start with this first. For most players, when you start to build him, this is what I recommend. You want to make your Zhongli do what Zhongli does best, and that is the role of a shield support. Looking at this chart for level 70, 80, 90 Zhongli, with different levels of shield, and with level 16 artifacts, with an HP % timepiece, HP % goblet, and HP % circlet. These are the rough shield values you can expect from him. I also added in 1000 bonus HP from miscellaneous substats throughout your artifacts. These shield numbers are extremely reachable for anyone that has Zhongli, and I personally recommend prioritizing leveling Zhongli to 80 and slapping on a set of level 16 HP % artifacts, and then leveling his elemental skill to level 8. With this realistic goal in mind, at 28,000 HP, you can expect a 12,000 effective HP shield. And what can a 12,000 effective HP shield allow you to accomplish? Allow me to demonstrate. For this demonstration, I've lowered my Zhongli's HP to 22,000, and with his level 11 shield, this puts his shield at about 12,500 HP, which is very similar to a free-to-play player's Zhongli's shield. I'm doing this so I can accurately demonstrate how reliable his shield is for a free-to-play player's worth of investment. Next, I'll be using Qiqi as my main DPS, and Fischl to provide superconduct support. I know my Qiqi is pretty decked out, but she is weak enough to properly illustrate how effective Zhongli's shields are, and yet she's strong enough to match many other well-invested free-to-play players' carries. On the left, we have a Pyro Resonance party with Bennett and Xin Yang. On the right, we have Zhongli and Traveler for Geo Resonance. Traveler won't be doing anything, as she's just there for the Geo Resonance. The first thing you'll notice between the two runs is that it's almost completely unnecessary to dodge with the party that has Zhongli on it. With Zhongli's shield, Qiqi can just nonchalantly face tank everything the boss throws at her. And this is a level 93 Primo Geo Vishat. This thing actually hits pretty hard. It is worth noting that Qiqi does have high base defense, so her higher damage mitigation will help the shield stretch even further, but the demonstration still stands. Now, the Geo Resonance and the Pyro Resonance roughly boost damage by the same amount, but Zhongli's shield is up for essentially the entire duration of the fight, and always providing that resistance shred for Qiqi. Notice how the team on the left is actually struggling to survive at certain points, whereas the team on the right only got tickled once by the Geo Vishat's attacks. People underestimate the opportunity cost of taking hits and dodging. For characters that need stamina to do a lot of damage, like Qiqi, Klee, and many others, dodging not only takes time away from you doing damage, but it also takes stamina away, which you could be using for charged attacks. With Zhongli's shield, you really don't have to worry about taking hits or dodging, and you can just brainlessly spam attacks at your enemies. While the team on the left is struggling to stay alive and they're still attacking the boss, the Qiqi on the right is catching butterflies and taking a stroll through the Gu Yun Stone Forest. before we math out how much damage Zhongli actually adds, let's talk about how I lost money buying GameStop shares. My wife is pretty upset at me for trying to stick it to Melvin Capital, and that's one of the many reasons why my Xiao will be Constellation 0. You can help me out by clicking on that subscribe button, and maybe if we bring that to 50,000 subscribers, my wife will forgive me for still having GameStop shares even today. Now on to the math. Let's figure out how much damage Zhongli adds to your party. Again, we'll use the same Chi-Chi, but this time against my most favorite volunteer, the Pyro Regisvine. Let's give it a round of applause for always being such a good sport. After Pyrovine gets knocked down, Chi-Chi is able to hit the Pyrovine with 9 of her charged attacks. Let's see how much damage she does, from left to right, just Chi-Chi alone, then in the middle with Zhongli's Jade Shield, and finally on the right with Zhongli's Jade Shield and the Geo Resonance. With Zhongli's Jade Shield and Geo Resonance, Chi-Chi does quite a bit more damage and is able to take out the Pyrovine in a single cycle. Considering all you had to do is use Zhongli's Shield for this and put any other Geo character in the party, this is arguably one of the easiest and most reliable ways to increase your damage. Zhongli's Shield basically has 100% uptime, and the only opportunity cost with it is its casting duration. If we do some math, we can expect that with Geo Resonance and the Jade Shield Resistance Shred, Chi-Chi will do 38.3% more damage to Pyrovine, after observing the amount of damage she did. With the Jade Shield and Geo Resonance, Chi-Chi was hitting for 7,126 damage, compared to 5,152 damage without the shield and without the resonance. This is a massive 38% increase in damage for basically doing nothing but putting Zhongli's shield up. Now Pyrovine has 30% physical resistance when knocked down, which is higher than most things, so the resistance shred here is extra effective against it. But against most things, which usually have 10% resistance, the Jade Shield plus Geo Resonance adds an average of 26% damage, and this is still a lot. Now let's take a look at how much Zhongli's Shield and Geo Resonance can amplify Geo damage. On the left, it's just Albedo, and on the right, it's Albedo with Zhongli's Shield. Again, this is a massive damage boost of 38% for Geo damage, and personally, it cannot be stressed enough that this is the definition of low investment, high reward, considering the additional utility seen earlier from Zhongli's Shield, and also the free damage amplification that he now provides. The next topic I wanted to talk about is Zhongli's carry potential. Zhongli's carry potential is much more formidable than you'd expect. On top of this, arguably his best in slot option, the Crescent Pike, is a completely free-to-play weapon. Since the Crescent Pike's passive procs on every single individual hit, this means that doing the first 4 hits of his basic attack procs Crescent Pike's passive 8 times. Now he does need a steady influx of particles, so pillar placement and occasional team support, like Fischl, are important. His carry potential is more than enough to comfortably clear all the content in the game. It is worth noting that his AoE isn't as large as some other carries though, so do keep that in mind. So not only is Zhongli able to output a ton of damage with his carry build, but with his enormous base HP, it's quite easy to reach 30,000 HP. Then with his Jade Shield lowering enemy resistances and improving his bolt, Zhongli is a true bruiser type of character in this game. The footage of this Crescent Pike Zhongli was provided by a friend of mine on Discord, Kono. She streams often at twitch.tv/Konoist, so if you want to see more showcases of a free-to-play friendly Zhongli's carry potential, I highly recommend you to check her Twitch out. The link will also be in the description below.
Alright, so here's my Zhongli. As you can see, we have some very, very high stats. So we have a R5 Crescent Pike. Now you might not have this. My free-to-play account does not. But this, in general, if you can get it, is what really, really drives up his physical damage. So we do have an HP build. So we have this very, very insane goblet. Ideally, you actually run 4 gladiator pieces, because that's not best in slot. Bullite is good. Chu Bloodstain is still also good. DPS changes. If you can get 4 glads with like very, very strong substats, that is your best stat. But good luck with that. It has a lot of HP. This is my off piece. Is crit damage, crit rate. HP, lots of HP. It's a 4 substatter, so it's very, very good. We have this flower. Again, we have very, very good gear on our Zhongli, so. And we have this hourglass. If you haven't noticed, I have a lot of defense, so it makes me very, very tanky when combination with Jing Cho shield and a Zhongli. He's just like a super tank.
So if you still haven't been sold on Zhongli yet, let me know in the comments below. I've honestly only scratched the surface of the power and utility of the CEO of GEO in this video. And I didn't really even focus on his sub DPS role, which is more of an endgame target when it comes to building Zhongli. So if Zhongli ever hopefully returns and gets a rerun banner, you'll be more well informed to make a decision on whether or not you want to pull. As always, thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. This is I Win to Lose, signing out.